Do you care about the environment and helping people in need? Are you also all for seeing organizations turning a new leaf and becoming eco-friendly? Well, what if I told you there was a way to satisfy all three of those needs? My company, Build Trybe, is an organization that teaches homeless youth and foster kids trades and life skills. In foster care, at the age of 18, you are kicked out, and 20% of those kids that have graduated from the program automatically become homeless. And in those 4 years after they have graduated, they will experience homelessness at least once during that period. The problem the problem is that Build Tribe is lacking funding. They need funding for more mentors so that they can take on more kids. When talking to the director of Build Tribe, he said that the main challenge of growing his business is the lack of funding. The lack of funding not only affects the people internally, but externally. The lack of funding affects the compensation that the employees, which are also the homeless youths and foster youths, get, but it also affects the amount of students they can take on and bring into the program. So the solution I came up with was to become a zero waste organization. By becoming a zero waste company, we will not only be able to apply for additional grants, but we will also be helping the environment and more students. It'll be easy on the company since they're already halfway there with their product they make, their fire starters. They use old wedding candles and wood shavings. This process has 3 phases, all with varying different lengths of time. The first phase of this plan is to get a grant writer. A grant writer plays a key role in this plan because they are knowledgeable in the application process and they know what it takes to be successful and acquire that grant successfully. This phase is the shortest phase and it will take 2 months. Phase 2 is the communication phase. So this phase is all about talking with a grant writer, figuring out what grants would be right for us and realistic for us in our situation. This phase should take 7 months, and the third phase is the final and last phase. It's also the longest phase at 15 months. This is the execution phase, the action phase. So we will be contacting the grant writer every week, making sure that we're adhering to the requirements set out by the grant, and just a progress check-in. And in order to bring this idea into reality, we would need $5,000 to hire a grant writer who will not only assist in finding and retrieving zero waste grants, but also help us adhere to the requirements of said grants. Acquiring a grant writer would make it possible for us to move to the next step, collaborating with the grant writer. The amount $5,000 is an estimation because grant writers come up with the price when negotiating a work contract, but the average is $30 to $75 an hour. Collaborating will help us find the most viable option to obtain funding necessary to hire more mentors. Thank you for your time.